Enter Mario. And no, I didn't stutter, that's his real name. The Italian plumber from Brooklyn is an expert in the field of medicine, physical activity, beating the bad guys, and saving the princess. The multi-million-dollar character designed by Shigeru Miyamoto has been an icon in the gaming industry ever since his first appearance back in 1981 in the game Donkey Kong. And since then, Mario has continued to improve not only from a gameplay perspective, but from an appearance perspective as well. But in 1993, Nintendo decided to view Mario from a whole new perspective. Sitting down eating popcorn with their chairs reclined, they decided to watch Mario from the big screen.
Mamma mia!
Yahoo!
After a fun-filled day of racing and playing sports, Mario has invited Luigi over for a movie.
Got it! Yeah!
But what Luigi fails to understand is how terrible this particular movie is.
Eh? Mario! Mario! Luigi! Oh? Mario? Luigi, gotcha! Eh? Luigi!
The Super Mario Brothers movie.
Let's take a moment to analyze this short I've just created. Now, is that style of movie acceptable in today's Hollywood world? Of course not. But in this short, we can see that being the older brother of the two, Mario bullies Luigi a little like a classic sibling rivalry. This behavior is backed up by a cutscene in Mario Power Tennis for the Nintendo GameCube. If you play as Luigi and win the main event, Mario shows up to the main platform applauding his good work. After some slaps in the back that might have not felt so good, Mario proceeds to step on Luigi's shoe as to imply the sort of "you got lucky" impression on the younger brother of the two. We can also see from the short that Luigi is a bit of a baby, as seen in video games such as Luigi's Mansion, where the objective is to capture all the ghosts with Luigi's Poltergust 3000, a vacuum. We can hear Luigi, in-game, making noises such as gasping, shivering, or screaming whenever a ghost comes into view. This sort of character individuality was not around during the production of the Super Mario movie. Therefore, the characters of Mario and Luigi were left up to the production team, who were not even remotely immersed in the video game culture, according to Wired.com. At the time of the movie's production, the latest game was Super Mario World for the SNES. We can see here that Mario and Luigi have yet to evolve from the side-scrolling platform game that originated from 1981's Donkey Kong. The only difference we can see between the two characters from Super Mario World is that Luigi has a slightly different color palette than Mario, and that it says Luigi instead of Mario on the top left-hand corner of the screen. From a movie creator and video editor such as myself's perspective, this was not nearly enough to create a valid story for a movie. Compared to the video games, the characters and atmosphere in the movie itself were nowhere near as colorful and bright as seen in Super Mario World. Co-director Ricky Morton believed that instead of a kids movie, they should make a darker, edgier version of the Mario Brothers. Quote, "I knew Super Mario Bros. Looked visually like a kid's video game, but I also knew that it was played by people of all ages, including adults." End quote. Whether that was an executive decision based on studies that showed the average age of a video game player being 18 years or older has yet to be discovered, but as you can see from the vast majority of Mario games in the last few years, Nintendo has stuck to the happy-go-lucky theme, rather than a more serious portrayal of Mario as seen from this movie. While Mario and Luigi's physical appearance were heavily reflected on the real thing, characters such as Toad and Bowser were given a darker look and role in the film. But what poses a huge problem was how Bowser and Toad looked nothing like they did in the video games. The YouTube channel called CinemaSins does a good job spotting a major flaw in the director's choice of character design.
You know the law, Toad!
Way to shoehorn a beloved Mario character into your movie, guys. And you did have to tell us who this was, because he in no way looks like Toad.
The same goes for Yoshi, who was shown as a literal dinosaur. While this makes sense, the similarities in appearance are slim to none. And according to CinemaSins,
Yoshi looks dumb.
Lastly, Goombas, the walking shiitake mushroom enemy, were scrapped completely and replaced with 7-foot-tall lizard people with tiny heads. What I'd like to point out was that Morton said it himself, quote, "I knew Super Mario Bros. Looked visually like a kid's video game." So one could ask, if it looks like something, why bother making it into something it's not? In the end, it was hard for the audience to relate to the characters on screen because they hardly resembled the characters they were used to. So instead of watching a fun-filled adventure with Mario and Luigi traveling all over the Mushroom Kingdom, the viewers were forced to adapt to this new, harsh environment that was the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Another aspect of this movie's failure is on a psychological level as well. According to the entry in Jacob Radcliffe's Integrating Video Game Research and Practice in Library and Information Science by Ken Perlin, the way a gamer thinks and feels while playing an interactive game is much different than when they are watching a movie based on the same game. When they become invested into a game, the player alone is in control of the main protagonist's movement, decisions, and actions. But when the director of a movie decides to twist the plot to their liking, the viewers ended up tagging along. In other words, the filmmakers have, with my consent, manipulated my emotions so as to make me view the world from that character's point of view. This, in a way, takes away the freedom the player once had while playing the game, and they become the observer instead of the instigator.
Take it from Wheeler Winston Dixon. No, that's not an expensive whiskey. That's a professor of film studies at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, who said, quote, "There's a very simple reason that nearly all video game movies fail. They're not interactive. With video games, the player is really the star of the movie, directing the actors, deciding what plotline to follow, and whom to shoot down to get to the next level. When this aspect of the game is missing, viewers no longer feel like they're part of the action." End quote.
Not only does this apply to the Super Mario Bros. Movie, but this applies to all video game-based movies as well. These flaws found in the Super Mario Bros. Movie are all areas of major concern. Every subject of discussion in this video directly impacts each other, which in turn impacts the viewer's opinion of the film. But in the end, I have to agree with John Leguizamo, the man who played Luigi in the film. He said he enjoyed being a part of the movie and working with famous actors like Bob Hoskins as Mario and Dennis Hopper as Bowser.
You know, it was one of the first video game movies, and so it was tough because it was the first. Nobody had ever done one before, didn't really know how to go about it, and so we were pioneers, you know, and we made a lot of great things and we made a lot of mistakes, but I'm proud of the movie in retrospect.
Leguizamo was right on the money when he said that they were pioneers. So on top of all the mistakes even the actors knew about, and the detailed research I've acquired over the course of this project, I believe that this can help out future movie directors on how to create an appealing story within the movie.
How did anyone think this was the way to do a Mario movie? Yeah, you can't have a guy running on platforms and hopping on mushrooms and call it a movie. Well, I guess that's the plot of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, but still, I think you start there and brainstorm. The first thing I would do is tackle how Mario knows where to hit those secret power-up blocks. It would be epic, I tell you.